Alright, we got another bracket on the deck, and I've been going through my bucket of drive parts, but this is going to be mainly for my reference for taking this thing apart. Um, and we're going to mount it back onto the deck, and well, we're going to clean it up, then mount it back on the deck, and give her some primer and throw it on there. And we're also painting that drive pulley hub. Took that apart and cleaned it out, and the bearing on the inside of it's still really good, so we're going to reuse that. So we're just nitpicking the little stuff right now, trying to get the main deck itself together, and then we'll focus on the larger components like the transmission and getting the engine mounted, and then working on the handles. So let me do a little bit more and we'll update you on the way. Alright guys, well, we made this plug out of some brass at work, and that's a half 13 on the outside and a 1/8 27 National Pipe straight thread on the inside. But unfortunately, the two don't go together that well, because you could literally peel the thread apart. So I opted for a second option, and I just made a second plug, and it's just a 1/2 inch on the OD and then the same thread on the inside. So our little nipple here will thread right on there like so. So we're going to drill our hole out for just a 1/2 inch, and I put 2 flats on it on either side. It could focus there, maybe. Hopefully it can focus. Yeah. So we're going to install that. We're just going to drill out our hole here. So now that should fit on in there with some persuasion, maybe. I might have to press it in there a little bit, because I mean that is a 1/2 inch. And my drill might be a little dull, but let me get the hole drilled, and we'll get back to you here. Alright, well, it's several days later, and the 1/2 inch drill just was not cutting through the plastic very well, and it would circle down into it, but it would spring in and out, so you couldn't actually cut your full 1/2 inch. So I ended up grabbing a junker end mill from work, so it's a 1/2 inch end mill, and I just slowly fed it down into there. So now we have a nice flat bottom down in there. Let me get it in frame. Alright, and so here is our bushing, and then there's a little O-ring that goes on the top of it. So this is just for reference on how it fits down in there. So it'll look something like that. So I left a little bit of room so the epoxy could get in there, but I'm probably just going to take one of my little, actually I could just use my little reciprocating saw, and cut several little grooves in the side of this so it has something to latch on to. A little bit of grippage that we like. So we're going to do that, and then once we get the grooves somewhat cut, then we can mix up a batch of our PC7 here, and get as much into it as we can. Slide that down in there and hope for the best. So that's the plan anyway. So let me cut the grooves into this. If I can get it out. There we go. And we'll get back to you here. Alright, well now we're just going to mix some epoxy up. And this is the stuff I had mixed up last time, and it's, you know, harder than a rock. So I'm thinking I just didn't let it cure. I mean, I did let it cure overnight, but I don't have the box anymore. And it's always handy to have a crappy flathead screwdriver. That's what I like to use. Alright, that's mixed up. Now we're going to get this into position. Put the pretty side down. And these are the grooves we just cut into them. Well, there's grooves in it. Not like super deep grooves, but enough to work for the purpose we need it to be. So we're going to get a piece of tape and just tape off the bottom again in case anything gets down in there. We don't want to go to all this effort just to have the screen get clogged inside the tank. It wouldn't be a big deal, but it'd still it'd be annoying. How about that? I need like half that. I mean, I did see a mower on Craigslist that had like a couple years newer on the tank. It's probably like a 1993 model. And they were only wanting 20 bucks for the whole mower. And I can get a tank like that for 50. So you might almost just get a whole new motor. But we don't like doing that. We like using the old stuff. So we're going to try this and see what we can get with it. Alright, so we got it screwed down all the way on our valve here. Ooh, here's an idea. Here's an idea. Why don't we use the old valve? So if we epoxy that into the thing, we don't ruin it. Well, there's an idea. Just got to clean up the threads on here. Down. Well, it doesn't feel like it screwed all the way down. Doesn't help there's some dirt on the threads. I mean, it doesn't have to look pretty, it just gotta work. Right? No, we like it to look pretty. At least I like it when it looks pretty. And then it looks professional. We like professional. So we gotta make sure that we're actually gonna put it the right way. So that way. So let's lather up our that's the wrong stuff. Here it is. I Like, wow, that got hard really fast. Careful not to get it. And we just want it around it. Alright. Something like that. Whenever you mix up epoxy, you always mix way too much or not enough. That's just part of it, I guess. I almost wish JB Weld came in something like this instead of those stupid little tubes that always burst out the bottom or the sides when you go to squeeze it. You know what I'm talking about. Alright, well, now I'll put a little bit down inside of it here. At least that's the plan anyway. All the stuff. Make sure you guys can see. I've been getting a little bit better at that. Although sometimes I do all the work and look up and then the camera's not in the view. I'm sure you'll forgive me a little bit. It's just a guy talking to himself in his shop. Alright. That tape won't matter. It's just saving our tank screen. Alright, well. We shall see if this works or if it just fails entirely. I'm thinking it'll work just fine. I think it'll work. Alright. Well, here goes nothing. Squish it in. Make sure it's straight. And we'll just let that cure, I guess. Somewhat straight. I mean, straight enough. So, there's our patch, I suppose. Just get some excess off of it here. Alright, we'll just let that cure, and then we'll see if it fails or if it's going to work. So, I believe that'll make it, that'll be all for this section. So, if not, we'll see you in another little video clip here. Well, that's it for this clip, guys. That's all done, nice and white. So, that'll look good on there. Now we're just waiting on the dang gas tank. And I still haven't heard anything about the decal on it. I'm sure he's working on it still. But it's just been curing outside in the sunlight there. Whoa, sorry about the zoom. But that's how we're sitting right now. So until next weekend, guys, we'll catch you later. And thanks for watching and subscribing. And hitting that like button makes me know I should probably do more of these. But we'll catch you in the next one, guys.